Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video today, I'm going to be going over these 6 different items and why I put them on my top 6 favorite tools for RC racing. Some of this stuff is pretty obvious. Others you might be kind of interested as to why I'm putting it on this list. So let's just jump right into it and go over them and see why I like them. Oh, quick little disclaimer before we jump into it. If you like anything that's Milwaukee branded, you'll like this video. If you don't, well, just save those comments for later and maybe just catch us in the next video. Item number 1 on my list is this setup board here by Stick It One Racing. Now, you don't have to have this particular setup board. Actually, technically, I don't think you can get this exact one because I got it at the Surf City race last year at OCRC Raceway. Really cool, love the graphic, but still, it has plain black side on the other. But Stick It One Racing has these available on their website. So I went ahead and linked that down below where you can find something that functions exactly the same. May look just a little bit different. I love setup boards because it is a quintessential piece when it comes to setting up your cars on race day. Ride height, camber, working on shocks, doing diffs, whatever you're doing on race day, this is an excellent place to do it. Keeps everything kind of in one area, neat and tidy. Gotta have one. I linked it down below. Go check it out. Item number 2 is this foldable pit lamp. This particular model, unfortunately, I don't think is available anymore because I got it about 3 or so years ago off of Amazon, but I found the closest thing down below that does all the same exact things that this one does, just in a current version. Give you a quick 411 on this guy. Pretty much every track that I go to, I use this thing because I use it for more than just the fact that it has a light. It also has a wireless charge station on the bottom, which is great for my phone. I usually have Live RC or RC Scoring Pro or whatever the scoring system is up all day long so I can keep track of the race program. So if I don't keep my phone charged, it tends to, not be so good and I get lost on the way home when I don't have a phone and I can't use directions anymore. Millennial problems. It also has a USB port so that when I'm charging the radio that I have, those of you who've seen my wireless charging setup for my San Juan 17, I plug that into this little USB port on the side. So then I've got my wireless base station for my phone and then my extra base station for my radio. And it just all comes because of this. As far as the light itself, it's pretty straightforward. On, off, you can adjust the levels and then you can change the color temperatures. Not unique to this one per se. There's a lot of foldable pit lamps out there that will do this, but this one has lasted me a few years. Looks like it's going to be around for a little bit longer, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you get one as well. Okay, let's go over this first beast of a Milwaukee product here. This is obviously a drill, and I'm very particular about this drill compared to all the other ones that I've used in the past when it comes to my tire prep. For those of you that are new to RC and you go, what? A drill for what? I've made a video in the past on it. I'm actually going to make a new video on my current tire prepping methods because they've changed just a little bit. That's going to be a separate video. It'll come out soon. If it's out now, I'll go ahead and link it up there, but if it's not there, it's because it doesn't exist yet. However, this particular drill, the primary reason I like this is because I get a good, consistent tire prepping result because of the RPM range that this drill uses. I've used a lot of corded drills in the past, and what they tend to do is they spin up at a very high rate, which kind of makes tire prepping quick, but sometimes too quick, in my opinion. It could be because I used some slower drills in the past and I'm just not used to a fast drill, but when I do tire prepping on a buddy's drill with that super, super fast high RPM range, I tend to grind past the point that I'm looking for way too easily. And then my tires aren't exactly the same on all 4 corners, and it's just really frustrating. This drill has a perfect RPM range. It doesn't balloon the tire too much, has tons of torque so it doesn't bog down, and it just has a perfect result. in my opinion. For those wondering what drill this technically is according to its item number, it's Milwaukee number 2804-20. I've linked it down below so that you won't mess it up as you relay that information into a search bar. You can just go ahead and click that link and it'll take you right to the one that I have right here in my hands. Jason. Hey, I'm totally recording a video right now, actually, and I'm gonna put this clip in the video.
Okay.
So say hi to the YouTubes.
Hey, everybody. Hope all is well.
Jason is a beast, so I'm gonna talk to him for a second. I'll get back to you guys in a second. Dude, what's going on?
Nothing, dude.
Next up on the list is this handy dandy little pouch that contains all of my soldering needs. Now, for those of you that are shopping for a soldering iron, you're probably familiar with this general shape and concept. I don't know the brand name, but it is the TS100. This particular model is pretty popular on a lot of the different sites. I think that people buy these in bulk, rebrand them, change them a little bit, maybe a color or something like that, but the general concept is about the same. Just a small little pen-sized soldering iron that I choose to power up through my power supply on race day via this little dinky cord here. Plug it into the back, and then these two banana plugs go right into my power supply, and I'm good to go. This is really nice for those that travel a lot, because we all know how hard it can be if you're trying to take just one Ogio bag and a carry-on. A whole soldering station is usually the first thing to go on the list of items when you're trying to cut weight. But if you can fit everything in here, and it's well under a pound, self-contained, nice little hard case, it's a solid option, and I take it with me everywhere. Next item on the list is actually pretty cool, and you may not think that this would ever show up on a RC tool list. I would qualify this GoPro Hero 8 as a tool because it really helps me develop my racing ability. Ever since I started using this and just clipping it on my hat like so, it's as simple as that, and then you hit record, and then you can get any footage that you're going to have from practice, qualifiers, main events, whatever it is, then you can have the footage to review later. Now, I'm gonna keep it kind of brief as far as, here's my tool, GoPro Hero 8 records footage. There's a little bit of stuff that I do to the footage afterwards to make it a little bit easier to view. If you guys would like a whole breakdown on like the settings that I use on this and what I do to it in post so that it looks bigger, better, etc., I guess I could do a whole video on that. Probably wouldn't be too long. I could probably explain it in about 5-6 minutes. But if you're interested in that, please drop a comment down below and let me know, because if you don't, then I'll just move on and assume you guys are good. But GoPro Hero 8, I linked it down below, along with the hat clip and this nifty little red aluminum knob, because I mean, come on, that's way faster than the plastic black knob. Last, and certainly not least, my Milwaukee electric screwdriver. Once you use one of these things, it doesn't even have to particularly be this one, just an electric screwdriver in general to build, disassemble, or reassemble a kit, you will never want to do it without one again. So these are going to be used in conjunction with those little speed bit Allen tips. Use whatever set's going to be appropriate for your vehicle. It just snaps right into the end of this thing here, but then it's pretty straightforward. Has forward, reverse, 2 different speeds. You can lock it if you need to, and it has a really nice clutch system. So if you're drilling a screw into a softer material and you need it to disengage very easily, turn it down. If you're working with some stiffer stuff, maybe an 8-scale car, crank that sucker up if you need to, and you're good to go. I definitely get a full race day, if not more, out of this battery, so it's not something you're going to need to recharge on race day. But I will say about this battery, while we're on the subject, is probably my least favorite thing about this. If you're coming from a Milwaukee system and you have the M12 stuff and the M18 stuff, you may look at this and go, oh, perfect. I don't need to buy a battery. I'll just get the tool. You would be, unfortunately, very mistaken. This uses, I guess, what's called the M4 system. I don't know that there's any other tool out there right now that uses this particular battery. So it's kind of a bummer. You have to get the tool, charge base, and battery all in one. I went ahead and linked that down below, worst case scenario, so that you'll have the whole setup there and you can have exactly what I use. But if you had to get one tool out of the entire set of things that I talked about today, it would definitely be an electric screwdriver. Your life will never be the same once you use one. All right, we did it. We went through all of my favorite tools that I like to use for RC. If there's a tool that you have that you really enjoy that didn't show up on this list, drop it down in the comment below. I may not even know about the things that I'm missing and I might need to get that tool. So share it with everyone down below and then we can jump into fun and see what everybody loves to use on their RC cars. If you guys had any more questions about the tools I had, of course, feel free to drop a comment down below on that stuff. Like I had been mentioning before, all of those links are down below so that you can get all of the full, true, accurate, detailed information on those subjects, such as specs and facts and price and where to buy. Check them out in the links down below. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe for future content. Race days, more tutorials, tip videos. You guys know the normal deal there. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.